Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on another What's in the Box. Today I thought we would review Neca's Toony Terrors Jason Voorhees. Now, most people don't really care for this type of figure. Well, maybe that's just a one-sided view. But when I saw them, they kind of felt like a throwback to old toys. And as I mentioned in some of my videos, I was a big fan of the old 80s figures. And these really have a 80s figure, Scooby-Doo kind of animated feel to them. And that's one of the reasons I started picking them up. I have probably 12 or 13 of these. I think I'm 4 or 5 shy of the complete current set. I chose Jason first because he's a classic 80s horror icon, and he's one of a handful of favorites that I have. Now, the packaging is simple. It too kind of is a throwback to old school figures with the cardstock and the plastic shell. That's all very typical of old toys. Looking at it, it's simple, it's easy. You know, one of the things I like that's really cool is on the back, like some older toys, Neca decided to provide you with a little diorama sheet. And so when you remove these figures, you can cut that out and display them behind the figure. Now this is a little simple. It's just a forest atmosphere with a bird flying or a bat flying in the background. This doesn't feel very character specific, which is kind of disappointing. I think you could have probably thrown a graveyard in there and you know, a Pamela Voorhees tombstone, something like that. Something to kind of push it in that direction. But at the same time, I know it's a simplistic line. And so, you know, that's not a major deal. I also don't see in the box any way to display this once you've cut it. So once you've cut this off, I don't know. They really need a small acrylic stand that you can just slip that piece of cardboard in. I'd like to see that in future releases, or maybe you can pick something like that up on Amazon or eBay. So let's crack into this. I'm looking forward to getting a better look at him instead of what I see through the clamshell. Let's get a little peeling action going there. I don't want to mess up that card and back too much. It looks like I'm doing it on this one, but I'll be a little more careful with the others. There we go. This would probably be much easier with, well, with an X-Acto. I did bend that a little, but not a major deal. Now my favorite part of this process. New toy smell. Wait, there is no new toy smell. Let me get it out of here. Now, sniffy. It's not a very strong smell on these figures, which is maybe a good sign. I don't know. Let's go ahead and take him out of here. I did not bring a pair of scissors, so this is going to be a little awkward, folks. Neca is apparently using a new kind of pull tie system on these, which is kind of a clear rubber. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can rip him out of here. There it is. Now, typically you don't want to do that, but I was unprepared, and that's what I get. Alright, toss that to the side. Alright, first glance. Okay, there's some head articulation, up, down, side to side, little pivot. Sorry, I probably need a closer camera. I will set that up next time. Up and down on the arms, it's good. Of course, it's simple. Up and down on the legs. No ankle joints, knee joints, elbow joints, anything like that. So, good. He stands well. Does he have a peg? Yep, he has a hole for a peg. But he's standing pretty well on his own. The machete is very simplified, but still pretty straightforward. I like that it has this shading that kind of makes it look sharp there. Again, closer camera in the future. So slap that in his hand. Fits well. Pose wise, I guess you could get the raised machete look. I think if the arm wasn't quite as bent, you'd get a better pose out of that. This arm is almost useless unless you're having him wave hi. It's just going to stay down to his side, and then of course you can't really, you can bend him forward a little bit, but then he gets a little tipsy. So I guess you could have him pose looking at a victim, and then he can lean back. I don't know why you'd want him to kind of gangster lean. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know. But yeah, pretty simple. As far as what film he looks like he's portrayed from, I think that's another part of this line. It's not meant to be. They're supposed to be an amalgam of the character. I would say, at a rough guess, he's in the part 3 to part 6 area. You know, he's got the classic green shirt and brown pants, and the hockey's well done. I like that on the hockey they kind of give him a furrowed brow. I think that works for the line. But yeah, a really neat figure. What I will do, since I was so unprepared and didn't bring you a closer camera view here, is I will take some photos and throw them up at the end of the video. But yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any issue with the paint whatsoever. There's one little bit there, but it's not missing paint. It's just like a little dip in the shoulder. But yeah, the lines are clean on this. I don't see many mistakes. I don't really see any mistakes outside of maybe right here on the cut of his jeans. They go a little outside the lines with the skin tone, but other than that, this thing is virtually perfect. Now, of course, he is pretty one-tone. There's no shading on this figure outside of his machete. So the shirt is just one solid green, the skin tone's one solid skin tone, pants, shoes, the whole 9 yards. But of course they're meant to be simple. But still, there's a lot of great detail. They've got the hockey straps, the buttons of the shirt are painted. So, I mean, there's enough detail. And I mean, you can't complain for, what, $12.99, $11.99, something like that. And that's one of the reasons I picked up this line. Is like, this is half the price of other Neca figures, and they're simple, and they're easy, and that's kind of enjoyable for me. It's, you know, like I mentioned, it's just a kind of a throwback to those old figures, because they were sort of one paint app, and you know, and not a lot of massive detail. So yeah, that's an enjoyable figure, and of course you can get a little view of him on his little cardboard diorama. Yeah, that's neat. I mean, $12, that's pretty cool actually. So, oh, there is some wrist articulation, so that's good. That's good. So, yeah. But yeah, simple, enjoyable figure, and I'm sure the others will be the same. Hopefully the paint apps remain consistent, and hopefully I'll be more prepared next time with closer views and well, an X-Acto knife. But this has been Neca's Toony Terror Jason Voorhees figure, and you'll be seeing more of these from the channel in the near future. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you next time.